Oh, my goodness. I did not know we were going there. That was pretty amazing.
Sorry.
Sean, yesterday, Dave and I were talking about this earlier as far as what the Jets did yesterday. Did you like them moving two of their best players to get future assets there? Is that something they basically had to do?
Absolutely. And I think the Colts, who are in a great position to go do this, I love teams that are aggressive. You know, if you're sitting on the cusp at the trade deadline in baseball and you got three good arms, one of them's hurt, and you're a team that's in first place and you believe you got a World Series team, you go get that other arm, even if it's a rental. Because you know what? 5 years from now, I'm not worried about it. I want a ring. And it's the same thing here. The Colts, it's been a minute since they've been in this position. This loaded, they score. You know, it doesn't matter who you trade for. When you turn it over 6 times and get sacked 5 times, you can get 14 Sauce Gardners and you're not going to win. But the offense put defensive mind. They needed a corner. I love the aggressiveness. I do think they overpaid. Go back since, 2000, and look at the guys in the positions you're overpaying for. I always believe closer to the quarterback has more impact, like Quinnen Williams, a first and a second. I get. And I think Sauce Gardner's a great player. But I can still manipulate formations and the way I'm going about it to not have to even if he travels with the best receiver, to put my receiver in positions where if I got Puka or I got Jamar Chase, no matter how good Stingley or a guy like Sauce Gardner are, I'm winning. If my quarterback gets 2.75 seconds, 3 seconds, which is a long time to deliver the ball, it won't matter if Sauce Gardner's covering him or not. Jamar Chase and Puka are going to win that matchup regularly. It's just the way it is. Corners are at a disadvantage because all the rules are set up for offense. So I love both. I love what the Colts did to get him. I think they overpaid for a corner. I just do. Two firsts and a player. That's a lot. Quinnen Williams, a first and a second. I get that. But I loved what the Jets did because they're not any good. So go get assets. Go what the Oklahoma City Thunder did. Go get 30 guys you can leverage and move up, and look where they are now. The Rockets have done the same thing. Do the same thing in football. They're not going anywhere. They're not any good. So go accumulate draft picks. They had a hell of a day yesterday. Cowboys getting Quinnen Williams as a help, and I'm sure they wish they had Micah Parsons at the same time, and the Colts upgraded their defense. So some good moves that sometimes you have to overpay for. The Jets won it yesterday. You're not winning with those two cats, so get rid of the money and go get yourself a bunch of draft picks and assets, and I wouldn't be done this offseason either. So for a team that doesn't quite get it, a franchise, they got it yesterday and made some smart moves to get rid of that payroll since they're not winning and go get young assets, and we've seen that in other sports, and teams win with it.
I could not agree with you more. We talked about this earlier, Sean, and right down to the Oklahoma City Thunder analogy. We talked about that. It's a perfect analogy. I thought the Jets got a king's ransom for that, plus the salary relief. And yep. I understand the Colts and what they were doing, as you explained. But since you're down there, let me ask you about the Cowboys. Now, no doubt about it, Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, let's not forget, they're a better team, but they're also 3-5-1. Maybe a play. Nobody's thinking the Cowboys are winning a title. So when you consider what they gave up and then also the salary that Jerry brought on, do you look at that move as smart as you would the Colts? I'm really on the fence about it.
No, I am too, Dave. I've thought a lot about. No, I think the Colts, because it's a one-guy move. It was a need position, and quite frankly, they're better than the Cowboys. And the Cowboys more than likely aren't going to make the playoffs. The Colts are not only going to make the playoffs, they're battling for a 1 seed. And they and I'm looking at thinking, well, you buy Quinnen Williams was an interior guy, but a game wrecker, a guy to have. But didn't they just get rid of that guy to Green Bay?
Right. Yeah.
And that salary? So wouldn't it have been great if you could have manipulated with your, trading or what have you to find a way salary-wise and all of it, and you say, well, how do you do that? Wouldn't it be great if you had, I like to accumulate. I'm greedy. I want 4 receivers. I want 3 I want a bunch of dominant linemen like the Giants had where I can play any kind of coverage behind it when Spagnuolo was there and winning Super Bowls and beating Brady and getting pass rush with 4. Imagine now the Cowboys finding a way to make some movement a year and a half ago or this offseason or before this deadline and keeping Michael Parsons and adding Quinnen Williams. You already got CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. Now we're on to something, right? So you basically took away one at a record position to replace him with another interior guy. They both make a lot of money. I get it. Both are still young and in the primes of their career in Quinnen Williams and Micah. So I just don't understand the Cowboys' route. Sometimes they're confusing to me. They give it and they take it away, and they keep telling us. Now, they do need better defense, and it's a desperation. But then you watch them against Arizona and say, well, CeeDee Lamb played, right? And so did Dak Prescott. What happened there? So the method of their madness. The Colts, I liked better on the urgent because they're going for a Super Bowl. Cowboys got two good players. But look what they gave up, and they still got a guy that's playing in Green Bay that would have been nice to keep around. But personality and money, it's obvious Jerry had other plans for that, but they did upgrade their defense. The question is how much. They're still 3 players away from being 3 players away in my mind.
Sean, out here, I think a lot of people assumed that John Lynch would get a deal done with the injury to Bosa, with the injury to Warner, that they needed something. This is still a team that if everything kind of went right, maybe they could really do some damage in the NFC. And, maybe the deal just didn't materialize, but I was a little surprised they didn't pull one off. What do you think about the Niners not getting a trade done yesterday?
Yeah, it's surprising. I was thinking the same thing here about the Texans, teams that had aspirations. Now, obviously, the 49ers team is in better shape with the way they played. I'm talking about just wins-loss shape. One thing fans have to understand that we don't see, the conversation that goes on behind closed doors. Unlike free agency, you got to have if somebody wants to partner with you on this, right? You may be asking for something. They may be saying, well, you're the 49ers. We're going to be greedy with you. We want more than you're willing to give. So you go back and forth. The deadline hits, you get nothing done. And then sometimes you don't want to make a deal that's just either desperate, which some teams do, or for just a warm body that you're giving up a fourth. You go get a guy who's a depth guy, but not a star, and you give up a third rounder or a fourth rounder. You say, man, was that too much to give up? Because maybe a fourth rounder ends up being a player. So, yeah, I was a little surprised. Especially you go to teams that think they still are in it, and they are. Hell, another good game in McCaffrey. He's going to get 8 million touches this year. So they're hanging around considering. And I think maybe, guys, with that, don't you guys think also that maybe, and I don't want to say selfish, but you got a little, and maybe not overly comfortable, but to the point where we're winning. Our starting quarterback's not in here. We lost defense. We're surviving right now at I think 6-3. Not having to give up a lot to go get some. Maybe we can just get in and stay in the fight in the playoffs this year without having to mortgage another high draft pick or what have you. And then when we get healthy, we'll be right. So I think possibly their success, now that goes against what I'd normally think, that add another one, you're 6-3, go be 9-3. So, but you got to have somebody that wants to deal with you as well. And it was obvious, even if they tried, that it wasn't a deal or compensation worthy of somebody else giving up what they wanted. And it's hard to find guys, but at least one thing I know about the NFL, we're at least more active at the trade deadline than we used to be. While the NBA and baseball still do it more, it's kind of nice to actually with the trade deadline where there's not just one move or no moves. We're like, oh, that was boring. So I was surprised at the 49ers, but that just also goes to tell you that they actually trust some of their depth right now. And Kyle Shanahan's done a hell of a job considering all the injuries. That's for damn sure.
Sean Salisbury with us. And Sean, I don't want to be boring here, but once again, couldn't agree with you more. I think Kyle Shanahan should be right now the coach of the year. I think he's done the best job he's ever done. And John Lynch can't come out and say, guys, look, we're probably not going to win the Super Bowl this year. We're way too injured. Please buy tickets this Sunday. Like, he's not going to do that. And I agree with you. It's one of those, sink or swim, guys. We're not mortgaging the future. Let's see what we can do. So my question for you, and this is where it's like, this is the cherry on the Sunday of being able to have you come on. Not only can you talk urinals and football, but you've also been in locker rooms, and that is something a lot of analysts can't answer. Here's my question. You're a team like the 49ers, and you have the opportunity to go get people, and then there's that big, shot in the arm type of thing. Is it does it hurt them psychologically that there's no cavalry on the way, or does it help them psychologically because the front office said, guys, we believe in you. We don't need any help. Let's go kick ass. How does that go over?
That's a great point, because it's almost the same as like when you're it's 4th and 1 at the 1 or 1.5, and there's still 5 minutes to go, and you're up 3, and a field goal make you go up 6, and the players are sitting there, and the coach says, you know what? I trust our defense even if we don't score. They'll get a stop, and I believe you guys are going to push it. Let's go for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. It's very similar here. So it is, and it's depending on where you sit. Now, think about this. Let's say you're an outside linebacker or a middle linebacker, and the guy that they want to trade for is the guy at your position because spreads out, you're the backup, they want to replace you. You're happy as hell today. You're like, whew, okay, on my starting job still. So I think it's in three different ways. You're right. If you're a guy like a veteran, if you're, Trent or one of those guys, you're saying, well, they ain't replacing me, so that doesn't matter. One more player. It's like in baseball, man, if we can get that one extra arm, sure. There's that shot in the arm that's the guy. In Indianapolis right now, when Sauce Gardner walks into the locker room today, well, today's what? Yeah, it's Wednesday, so it's a regular work week. Tuesday's their day off. They're ecstatic. He's getting hugs all across, championship team, and the corner that's losing his job's probably bummed, but that's the way it is. But you are exactly right on the other side. Sometimes, and they're looking at their record, looking around the locker room, the players. Now,
I think we lost him.
A roster is a sum whole that you say to yourself, you know what? They do believe in us. We're 6-3. We can grind through this. So there's a message in both, and I think both work. It's just you got to be able to compartmentalize individually, especially if it's your position. So if you're the 49ers, you are saying today, they believe in us. We'll get healthy at some point in the next year, but we can still go do this thing. We're good enough with our guys in the locker room. That's the message you try to send because you don't want to apologize, and you sure as heck don't want to make it seem like you were desperate, and you don't want the guys in the locker room to think, well, we're done because we didn't pull off a trade. So it can go both ways. The Colts are ecstatic, and I'm sure 49ers players are saying it would have been nice, but they believe in us. Let's go take care of our business.
Sean, when you watch the Niners, when Brock Purdy's there, his ability to dissect really quickly, to kind of figure out where he needs to throw the ball to, and his ability to run is an asset to the team. Mac Jones, when he's in there, is doing everything right now. So if Mac Jones keeps going like this, and Brock Purdy and that turf toe is not quite 100%, even though if he wants to play soon, how would you handle that if you were the decision maker on which one you're playing at QB?
I am not making a decision based on money. I'm not. Now, easier said than done for me from this vantage point. And I don't think you're at the risk, and I can't, guys, this is the hardest thing to do. I can't in life for anybody. I can't make a decision based on making one guy feel good at the expense of everybody else. Now, you guys know my affinity for Brock Purdy. I'm a huge fan, and I think he gets minimal respect around the country for the production he's put on. It's because he doesn't fit the physical overpower. He doesn't do anything. He processes information great. He's not going to lead the league in passing yards. He's never going to lead the league in rushing yards. He's going to do everything good, and he's going to be solid and keep. But they're looking for that Josh Allen spectacular. That's how we judge him, which is absurd. I think he deserves more respect. Now, they brought in a guy that they trusted and liked before the draft, and he's doing his job. Let's say Brock's not ready for 2 more weeks, and they're 8-3. And you start to say to yourself, well, do I pull out the hot hand? Because you think the question you got to be honest and ask yourself as a franchise inside those meetings with those coaches in front office. Who gives us a better chance right now? It doesn't matter that, okay, we'll worry about next year. But it'll bother Brock? Yes. My gut tells Jones is going back to the bench. I look at it, I say, well, hot hand, man, let me play it till he plays his way out of it or plays his way into it, and we'll deal in the offseason. Brock Purdy, that happened for him. It happened for him. Yet Mac Jones is probably playing better than the guys who looking at the numbers, better than, the ball's not hitting the ground very much. He's playing good. So my gut tells me they're going to go with their guy, and that Mac Jones, who's been a backup on a couple places and a starter, can handle that as well, knowing his role, but knowing he's also posted enough score that the respect around the league is going to say, ooh, maybe we'll trade for him, or the 49ers want to keep. It's a good problem to have. But my guess is you're going to bring Brock in, and if Brock plays his way out of it, and he plays bad 2 games in a row, then you're afforded the opportunity to say, we gave him the opportunity, we're putting Mac back in. Something's not right here. So that's what I think is going to happen. But you're going to be faced with it if Mac keeps playing like this and they win 2 or 3 more in a row, or depending, I don't know what the word is around there, the guys, if Brock is actually playing or not. I know that he's getting better and can be in an emergency role, but you don't have to rush him. It doesn't have to be at 90%. You can wait till he's close to 100% since the quarterback's playing well enough to keep winning for you and do it pretty damn well. So my gut, though, is when he's 100%, he will start, and Mac will go back to the backup. But here's the problem with that. Throw 2 interceptions in the first half of the game, and you know what fan base is going to be doing, right? We all do in the national media. So Brock will have to be ready to go and play great football, but I think he'll be the starter when he comes back, although if they don't, I'll understand why, because you can lose your job, or at least temporarily, to a guy who's playing well and doing his job. It's a good problem to have if you're the 49ers, but one you're going to have to make.
All right, we only have a minute, but I want to introduce a new segment that everybody knows is coming except Sean Salisbury. So we're gonna do a warm up, and then Sean, I want you to look forward to this next week and the week after as we lead up to the holidays. It's the debut. We don't have a sponsor yet. It's the debut of our brand new game called Sean Salisbury Tells Us If It's a Real or Fake Hallmark Movie.
We're going with Hallmark or Hall Not.
Yeah, great point. This is very simple.
Okay.
We have written up a list of actual Hallmark movies, some of which you may have seen, Sean, and then a list of movies that are not Hallmark movies. And we just simply, it's just for fun, want you to guess as to whether or not it's an actual Hallmark movie. Make sense?
Yeah, absolute sense. I thought you were going to have me have to sing like one verse of my favorite Christmas song. So this is easy. Yeah, I'm good.
We're gonna keep score back home. We'll keep a running tally. So we'll just get through a couple here just to kind of test the waters. Well, we have some music and everything. Okay. All right. First one, Frosty the Snow Hoe.
Now, are you talking about, is this one, well, first of all, the answer is no, but is this a movie, like a movie you can find on a B-lister, or what I'd find on Hallmark or one of those? You got to tell me the difference now.
No, it simply was this a Hallmark movie commissioned by Hallmark and shown on Hallmark, or
Frosty
was it not?
Snow Hoe?
And you're 100% correct. You're 100%
I'm going to say
correct.
absolutely not. Okay.
That is correct. That is
All
correct.
right.
We wanted to start with hopefully an easy one.
So blatant. Although it was so blatant, I thought, well, maybe it is true. The Snow Hoe. If it was, I ain't seen it, but I'd like to.
All right. Number 2. Holiday in Handcuffs.
That's a yes.
That is correct. That is a Hallmark movie. Congratulations. All right, we'll go with another one here. Love Hard.
No.
I'm sorry, your first incorrect answer. Love Hard is actually a Hallmark movie. And then finally, Stocking Stuffers.
Just Love Hard.
Yeah, Love Hard.
Really stepped their game. Okay, well, I'm 2-1, so my bad. Love Hard.
All right.
You're going to tell me that sounds like something that now this is a Hallmark movie. You're telling me, right?
Yes, Love Hard. Okay. You can look it up.
Okay, and I probably will, and I'll probably tape it. Yeah. So there you go.
And finally, I think we broke up there for a second. Finally, to go 3-1 or 2-2. Stocking Stuffers.
Stocking Stuffers is and spelled just like it sounds, correct? Stocking Stuffers.
Yes.
I'm going to say I have not seen it, so I'm taking a flyer on this one to get me to Stocking Stuffers. It sounds too obvious. I'm going to say no.
That is absolutely correct, Sean. 3-1 in the first go-around. Well we done. Have quite the list on both sides. I hope you enjoyed that as much as our studio audience. Thank you all for coming to the first edition of Is It or Isn't It, a Hallmark movie with your host, Sean Salisbury. We appreciate it, and we'll continue this next week.
No problem. Hey, I'm just doing Frosty the Snow Hoe. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Can't wait till next week, guys. 3-1. There you go.
You got it, brother. Have a great week.
All right. You too.